Oh, hello. Welcome back to Nikki's Nosh. And what have we got going on today?
So, welcome back to Nikki's Nosh, and I'm Nikki. Right, so what I decided to do today, since I was feeling really hungry, is I decided to look on the Too Good To Go website. And there was a Toby Carvery offer for £3.49. And so I went there, and I've just got back. So we're going to be opening it and having a look. Well, it'll be quite a surprise. I haven't eaten all day. There's a bag, which have got something in it. And we've got a little pot with gravy in it. Looks like pot with gravy. So that's that. And then we've got this massive thing here, look. Now, this is really heavy. I don't know what's in it. This is much heavier than a takeaway that I normally have. So for £3.49, whatever it is, it's heavy. And I'm sure it's not got lead in it. So I went to the Toby Carvery on the Hop Grove, which is in York. It's right on, just off the A64 on the bypass that goes off to Scarborough. It's been a restaurant of various types since 30, 40 years ago. So, but now it's a Toby Carvery. And so I decided that since I hadn't got anything in the house, I would go and do some shopping first. So I went to shopping at Aldi, and then I drove over to the Toby Carvery. It was really easy. I went on the Too Good To Go website, selected, they had one meal left, and it was a Carvery meal, and it was £3.49. I thought, well, in for a penny, in for a pound, or in for £3.49, and we'll have a go. So they did tell me that there's a deal on in the afternoons for old people. Well, of course, I'm an old person, and so I qualify. So I don't know whether I have to show any evidence that I'm an old person, but we'll have to see. So sometime in the week, I'm going to be going back to the Toby Carvery and having another meal. This time, obviously, a freshly cooked meal. Let's have a look at these things. These feel a little bit cold. I got the feeling that they've been left out probably. There's a Yorkshire pudding, and there's 3 roast potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in my Ninja for about 3 minutes. It'll have an oven boost, which will be better than a microwave boost. So, oh, there's some ham there. That's rather nice, actually. So let's get that into the Ninja for 3 minutes. I'll put the Yorkshire on the top, and I'll put the potato on here, yeah? And then I'll lower it into the Ninja. Now, I'm going to give it a blast on the air crisp for 3 minutes. Now, it's better than giving it 3 minutes in the microwave, because a microwave, all it does is it shakes the tissues around a little bit, whereas this is giving convection heat. So it'll be a little bit more like having it in an oven. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to have a gin and tonic, and you can't get better than an economy gin and tonic. So I have got 70 millilitres of this stuff. It's the Aldi Greystones gin. It's their standard. It's a knockoff of one of them, and I'll put, if I can remember the knockoff, I'll put that up on the side here. So I've poured my 70 millilitres of gin into here, and I'm going to top it up with my Aldi Indian tonic here, low carb, low calorie stuff. So we've got that there. So I'll put the price up there, and now we're going to have a look at what lovelies we got from the Toby Carvery. So I dare say I'm going to be surprised. I think I'll put the gravy in the microwave just for 30 seconds. Right then. Right, this is looking very hot. So we've got a Yorkshire pudding. That's the first thing. So let's go down and look at it close up. So we've got a Yorkshire. Really, it's quite crisp. It's quite good. Feels quite good. And then we've got 3 roast potato. I'm only moving these over because I've got to get hold of the tub. And here is the tub. And you can see here, turn the thing round so you can see it says Toby Carvery on it. Do it so that you can see, it says Toby Carvery. What have we got in terms of meat? Right, well, we've got a slice of ham, which looks quite good. I think I'm going to have to put the Yorkshires on another plate. And then we've got a piece of turkey or chicken there, which is right good. So that's my meat, I think. That's the meat. And then we've got a load of veg. So we've got some stuffing. Looks quite good. Stuffing there. We've got a load of carrots. I'm not a great fan of carrots, so I won't have all of the carrots. I'll put the carrots, I'll put some of the carrots over there and have those maybe tomorrow. Right, I've got some they've got some baby Brussels sprouts which look absolutely gorgeous. Look at those baby Brussels sprouts. There's some peas, as we know, as my friend Gary Eats says, peas is pea. But they aren't actually. I don't particularly like marrow fat peas, so at least marrow fat peas are not the same peas as I'm used to. We've got lots of stuffing here. I think a third of it is stuffing, but never mind. We'll live with that. We've got a massive piece of cauliflower here. There we are, some cauliflower. Oh, we've got some mashed potato as well here. Some mash. Well, this is a tasty looking evening meal for me, isn't it? For £3.45. I don't need to add any extras. Well, there's a little bit of pasta as well there. Don't know what's going on with that pasta, but yeah, there's quite a lot of stuffing. But I can't really fault this. It's just it's good. Now, look at that meal, £3.40. Now, last time I had one of these was quite a number of years ago, and it wasn't like this. It wasn't as good as this. Now, just get the gravy out from the microwave. Now, I've got some high hopes for this gravy. Let's have a look at that gravy really close up. Can you see? Now, it's quite good. It's not totally glutinous. I'm going to taste it. The gravy feels a little thin, but you can taste the broth, the stock that's gone into it. And remember, it has to be a fairly generalised gravy. I'm going to pour it all on, but that gravy's good. It's got flavour to it. A little bit thin, but I can't complain. I mean, obviously, I would be really complaining if it was a globby glutinous mess. So I think I've got a decent meal here. I don't know what you think. I mean, it looks really, really, really good. It doesn't look like school dinners. Let's try what the sprouts taste like. You can taste the sprouts. They haven't been hanging around for too long. They taste good. Now, what about those roasts? Because I once went to one of these carvery type places. It wasn't a Toby Carvery. It was an expensive one, close to where I used to live, and it was 7 o'clock at night, and that was the biggest mistake. And I had these roast potatoes, and they were like bullets, and I nearly broke a tooth. These roast potatoes are good. They're okay. They're great. I'm not a fan of carrots, but those carrots are quite tolerable, to be honest. Really are. So let's try this meat. Now, this is, well, it's either chicken or it's turkey, and you can't tell. Might be able to tell taste. I think it's turkey. Yes, it's turkey. But it's good. A lovely thick piece. It's tender. It tastes of turkey. And the gravy helps it along. Try a little bit of the cauliflower. Well, it's a cauliflower and mashed potato. That cauliflower is lovely and soft. Beautiful. And you can taste it too. That's good. The mash taste of potatoes, that's for certain. Doesn't feel too buttery, have to honestly. But yeah, it's a good evening meal, and this is much better than if I had gone to a takeaway. Have some more of that stuffing. Oh, I suppose I ought to try the Yorkshire. Let's well, it feels a bit crisp, but obviously, it might have been out for quite some time. But we'll give it a go, or at least we'll give half of it a go. Now, I'm having a bit of a wrestle with the old Yorkshire. I think it's been basking in those halogen lamps for a smidge longer. You're having the leftovers, really. So this is a leftover meal. Well, I can't complain about it, really. On terms of everything I've been tasting so far, it's good. Yeah, the Yorkshire's got flavour, but it's lost its crispness. But the Brussels sprouts are absolutely gorgeous. So's the stuffing. So are the roast potatoes. And so too is the cauliflower. Now, this isn't the cauliflower cheese, that's just the plain cauliflower. Now, let's try the ham. Ham can always be a little bit salty, but let's see. My, oh my, that's good. That's a lovely piece of ham. And it's thick as well. Look how thick it is. you know, it's good. It's not overly salty. It's really, well, lean. I suppose you could say it is lean, to be honest. There's not much fat. There's no fat on the outside of it. And it's a lovely thick piece of meat. I think I've got a barbecue. The turkey, I'll try it with a little bit. I could have probably done with a little bit more gravy, but that, you know, I'm just a bit of a gravy hog, to be honest. Good. That's absolutely gorgeous. I really cannot fault this meal. Now, if this was representative of what you get every time, well, we'll get another one at some point and see how that compares. Well, since this is my first and only meal today, maybe you could have fed me cat food and I would have enjoyed it, but I do tend to have my taste buds fairly well attuned to these sorts of things. Well, the vegetables are good. The only thing is the Yorkshire, but you know, I can't complain about the Yorkshire, my oh my. This is, as I've said to you, is leftovers, and it's all good stuff. And well worth £3.49. Would I pay more than that? Well, I've had dinners like this at the table prices, and they've been more than this. If you had this carvery at your table, you would be paying, I think, just under £10, £9 and something. And of course, you could go back for more the vegetables and what have you. But I've had vegetables. I've also had that lovely gin and tonic, and it's spot on. I think I've now got the right formula. 70 millilitres of gin, and then top it up to the top with a little bit of Dieter's Indian tonic. I'll have to try and work out how much it costs per glass, because I'm going to have another one. What do you think? Just eating the stalk of the cauliflower, and normally, you know, I would normally put that in my worm bin, but it's tender. It's good. I really can't fault this, especially with a gin and tonic. There's obviously still quite a lot left in the pot here. Obviously, there's all of that. I'll probably have a bit more of the stuffing. That really is quite nice. I'm not, as I say, I'm not a fan of carrots, but you know, those carrots were okay. I've eaten them, and this is far more than I would normally have. I could have very easily split this, and two people could have had this meal. It's certainly a sizable meal for one. Does it hang my hunger? Yes, it does. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would. Is it good value? Yes, it most certainly is a good value. So yeah, it'd be nice to have had a little bit of beef, maybe, a little bit of pork, but I can't complain for the price. I have to give it a figure out of 5, because technically it's a takeaway. What do I do? What do I give it? I would say I'll give it a 4 out of 5, and I'll compare it to the full, you know, ready on carvery rather than the leftover carvery from Toby Carvery next week. But at the moment, this looks like I'm going to be eating for the next 20 minutes, which you don't want to hear me or watch me eating. So right, so I'm back in the room. So what you've been seeing is a Too Good To Go carvery from Toby Carvery, which I bought today for £3.49. I found it a delicious meal. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5, and that's based on the fact that it's, you know, it's leftovers. You know, I mean, you know, what can you expect for £3.49? I would say 4 out of 5 is an exceptionally good score. It's nutritious. It's obviously great. There's loads of vegetables. I know I'm getting my fibre. There was enough meat there. I mean, if I'd have had a ready meal, there wouldn't have been as much meat in the ready meal as I've had in this massive big dish. I think this is a success, and I would certainly recommend trying Too Good To Go again. I haven't used Too Good To Go for about 4 years, so I gave it a bit of a break because some of the quality wasn't up, but the standard here is much better. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up myself personally. That would be good. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do the same. Thumbs up, you know, and if you feel like subscribing, please subscribe, tell your friends, and make a comment. If you've had one of these Too Good To Go meals from Toby Carvery, then tell me how it was for you. So until the next time, from me, Nikki at Nikki's Nosh, cheers me dears.
Oh, hello again.